Multiscore is the V-cut scoring machine designed to quickly cut a number of accurately positioned double-sided V-shaped grooves in a multi-pattern panel for PCB separation. The alternative to routing, which is time-consuming and a waste of expensive materials. Multiscore suits the requirements of printed circuit manufacturers who produce a wide variety of PCBs using datum tooling holes, which are put in at an early stage and used throughout the production process. Multiscore uses these datum holes as location tooling points, not the PCB edges. The edges are sawn or guillotined, so have poor resolution to the track pattern. Compare the yield from this typical drill route or Pearson blank panel with the number of PCBs obtained from this panel, processed on Multiscore. Your customer can now enjoy the cost-effective benefits of being able to assemble multiple panels, either by hand, auto insertion or pick and place, rather than small, difficult-to-handle PCBs. Flow soldering, testing and cleaning all become much more efficient, as the easy-to-process multiple panels are only separated into individual PCBs as a final operation, leaving no ties or tabs to be machined off, just smooth, clean edges. Scoring by Multiscore is simple. The machine consists of 4 support arms, which hold the panel accurately in position during the scoring operation. These arms glide on a Hepco slide mechanism and are driven by a stepper motor mounted about the center line. This complete carriage assembly sits on a rigid glass fiber molded cabinet, which also houses the electrical controls. The cutter assembly consists of 2 shafts supporting both sets of cutters, in this case solid carbide, and the self-centering rubber nip rollers. These nip rollers ensure that the panel is always in the correct position, central to both sets of cutter blades throughout the cutting operation. The cutters are counter-rotating to eliminate drag-through. A maximum of 10 cutters, top and bottom, can be used in any one pass. Adjustment to the depth of cut is made by simply rotating this lead screw, which moves both bearing blocks equally about the center point. Readings are taken directly from the analog gauge. If fewer cutters are required for any one operation, they can be safely parked at either end of the shafts or can be removed completely in a matter of minutes. Diamond cutters are available as an option to solid carbide. They should be considered if the majority of work is to be on FR4. The low-cost solid carbide cutter, however, is ideal for heavy-duty work on phenolic substrate and light to medium-duty work on FR4. Multiscore's unique cutter setting mechanism ensures high accuracy and repeatability of cut position relative to track pattern. Setup is straightforward. The carriage drive is disengaged and the carriage is manually positioned with the tooling pin under the setting tool cursor, which is linked to a Mutu Toyo measuring spar. Once engaged, this position is zeroed, and the mechanism can be repositioned over the first cutter to be set. With the cutter released from the shaft, it is accurately indexed into the first cut position with the reading taken from the digital display. The other cutters are positioned, clamped up, and the cursor parked in the start position. all dimensions are now accurate to the tooling holes. Replacing the covers resets the low voltage safety circuitry. The carriage can now be manually returned to the start position and the clutch engaged. One or more panels are positioned on the support arms with the clamp mechanism engaged over the tooling pins to hold the panels securely in place. When setting up for large panels, up to 610mm by 510mm can be accommodated, the two center arms are used with the two outer arms parked safely. For quick and easy positioning of the score line in relationship to the track pattern, the alignment mechanism is brought into action. Adjustments to the panel position can be made in both X and Y axes by using the micro adjusters. Once the PCB is accurately aligned, clamping up of the carriage ensures that all subsequent scoring will conform to the same tight tolerances. To speed up the scoring process, a contactless sensor is positioned to allow the carriage to travel at fast speed until the panel reaches the cutter assembly, where the speed is automatically reduced to a controlled preset cut rate. Multiscore is now ready for use. All control circuitry is low voltage. The cycle buttons, abort, and emergency controls are all close to hand. With the cutter motor switched on, the cycle buttons can be depressed, the carriage travels to the cut position, scores, and returns to the start position. The panel can now be offloaded or turned through 90 degrees and placed on the right-hand support arms ready for second axis cutting, while a new panel is loaded for its first axis cut. With Multiscore's unique, accurate setting mechanisms, accurate control over traverse and cutting speeds, robust and virtually maintenance-free construction, Multiscore is the ideal tool to increase your company's production of multiple panel PCBs, with cost savings for you in both time and materials, and assembly benefits for your customers. Multiscore, the complete answer to your scoring needs.